Hello Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Libra, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. We're going to see how the both of you are currently viewing this relationship and how you guys feel about it and what actions you guys plan on taking each other's direction and are moving forward. So with all that being said, Libra, let's get started. How does Libra currently view this relationship? All right, Libra. So we do have the Six of Swords, we do have the Nine of Cups, and then we also have the Devil out here. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Five of Wands. Okay. Libra, with the Five of Wands to the Devil coming out here, I don't feel like somebody's getting the reaction that they were essentially hoping to essentially receive from you is basically what I'm gathering. And I feel like it's adding fuel to this person's fire is like the best way I could describe it is that I'm seeing here. It kind of looks like there was like a really big fight / argument that occurred here between you and this person. And instead of you going back and forth with them, it's like you chose to not go down that route. It's like you chose to, like, I don't know, like leave this person like arguing with themselves is like the best way I could describe what I'm seeing here. And I think that that's just adding fuel to this person's fire is basically what I'm getting. You know, this to me just kind of feels like an energy of you just kind of picking and choosing your battles, I'm sorry. Is basically what I'm gathering. And this is just not a battle that you're willing to essentially fight right now is basically what I'm getting. I'm also getting an energy of you just trying to protect your peace. So instead of you going back and forth with this person and arguing with this person from like sun up to sundown, you're just choosing not to. And like I said, it's just furthermore pissing this person off, Libra. How does this person currently view this relationship with Libra? So we do have the King of Pentacles, we do have the Four of Pentacles, and then we also have the Ten of Wands out here. Okay. Now, in regards to how this person's currently viewing this relationship with you, because you're deciding, Libra, to not go back and forth with this person and like, I guess, argue with this person from sun up to sundown. Like I said, it is adding more fuel to this person's fire, and it's just furthermore like pissing this person off. I feel like this person is trying to kind of like display like to you, like on the surface, right, that, you know, they're not bothered or anything like that or upset, but it kind of looks like they definitely are. I just kind of feel like they're trying to portray this image to you, like they don't really care about this fight. They don't really care about this argument. They're not even bothered by it, but they actually are. I just kind of feel like this person is trying to like match your energy, if you will. So because you're kind of walking around like you can honestly care less, they're just trying to like match your energy and walk around as if they can honestly care less as well, even though this big fight / argument between the two of you is still very much so bothering them and upsetting them. How does Libra feel? All right, we have the Five of Pentacles, we have the Hangman, and then we also have the Queen of Wands. Okay. Now, in regards to how you're currently feeling, Libra, something went down within this big fight / argument between the two of you that's causing you to essentially feel like, you see, like this person's just never going to change. They're just never going to change. They're just never going to change. I'm not entirely sure exactly what occurred here between the two of you that caused you to essentially feel like, you see, this is what I'm talking about. This person's never going to change. They're never going to change. They're never going to change. I am definitely getting that. So I don't know, like maybe, you know, maybe this person, you know, went off on you. You know what I mean? Maybe this person went from like 0 to 100 real quick and you don't necessarily like that about them, causing you to kind of feel like, you see, they're never going to change because look, they're going from 0 to 100 real quick. You see what I'm talking about? They're never going to change. They're never going to change. Like there's something that this person did within this big fight / argument that occurred here between the two of you that you definitely don't like, that you definitely want them to change about themselves, that you told them that you wanted to essentially change about themselves, but they keep doing it anyways. And I feel like that's kind of like, you know, what more than likely happened here again, that they did something again within this big fight / argument between the two of you that you don't necessarily like, that you want them to basically change. But, you know, just given the fact that there was like this big fight / argument that occurred here between the two of you, and they turned around and they did the exact same thing over and over again, it's causing you to feel like, you know what, you see, this is what I'm talking about. This person's never going to change. This person's never going to change. Okay, let's keep going. How does this person currently feel? Oh, that's a lot. Okay, so we do have, okay, listen, because this big fight / argument occurred here between the two of you, and you decided to take it upon yourself to not fight this battle and just simply get up and walk away and not talk to this person, right? I do see this person wanting to talk about whatever happened here between the two of you or occurred here between the two of you is basically what I'm gathering off of this person's energy, because they essentially feel like a conversation needs to essentially take place here between the two of you. They basically feel like this big fight / argument between the two of you that happened is still very much so unresolved, and they want to talk about it. They want to talk about it, and they want to essentially move past it is basically what I'm getting. Because right now, all it's really doing is creating distance between the two of you and a lack of communication between you and them. And they don't necessarily like it. What actions will Libra take towards this person or moving forward? We do have the Six of Pentacles to a Two of Cups, so Six of Wands to a Chariot coming out here. Okay. Now, in regards to the way that they're going about this entire situation over here is the way that you initially wanted them to go about this entire situation. You know, level-headed, calm, not argumentative, things of that nature. So the way that I guess they initially approached this entire situation with you, it kind of looks like you didn't really like it. And things just kind of escalated from that point on. But the way that they're approaching you now is exactly what you've been wanting this person to essentially do and handle moments of adversity. So instead of them going off on you, you would much rather prefer this person just be calm and have a civil conversation with you instead of just snapping and just going off on you, I guess, like they did during this big fight / argument. And I do see you kind of like pointing that out to them. Like, you see how you're talking to me now? You see how we're not yelling at each other and you're not, you know, yelling at me, and you see what you're doing now? See, this is what I want you to do every single time. Not what you did back there, but what you're doing here. I do see you kind of like pointing that out to them. Okay. What actions will this person take towards Libra or moving forward? Okay. All right. So we do have the Five of Swords. We do have the Wheel of Fortune to the Eight of Cups. And then we also have the Ten of Swords out here. Okay. So here's the thing. The fact that you're pointing out to this person, you know, how they're going about this entire situation, how you would have preferred that they went about this entire situation, that they're going about it now back then, they don't necessarily like that. That really does piss this person off, that, like, you know, you're doing that is basically what I'm gathering. And I just kind of feel like it's going to like cause this person to go from like 0 to 100 again is basically what I'm getting. It's like they approach you in a very calm and cool and collected manner. Like, hey, let's just talk about this. And then, you know, you turn around and you see, this is how I want you to go about moments of adversity. Not, you know, going from 0 to 100, not snapping on me, not yelling at me. Like, you see how you're going about this? See, that's what I like. That's what I want you to do. But it's like the moment you open your mouth and you say something like that to them, they go from 0 to 100 again, is basically what I'm gathering. It's as if this person feels like you're intentionally trying to basically piss this person off instead of like just coming down to like a resolution here when it comes down to whatever the heck happened here between the two of you. They feel like by you pointing all of this out is just furthermore pissing them off, and they feel like you're doing it intentionally. Now, I don't feel like you're purposely trying to piss this person off. I can't really say that you are, because I don't have any sort of cards to, you know, indicate that you're purposely trying to provoke a reaction out of them. I just kind of feel like you're kind of pointing out that they're finally doing what you've been wanting them to essentially do when it comes down to moments of adversity between the two of you, that they just haven't been doing. And the fact that they're finally doing it, you're just pointing it out like, hey, like, I really do appreciate the way you're talking to me now and the way you're going about it now. You know what I mean? Instead of how you went about this whole ordeal. You know what I mean? But it's like the moment you do that, it's like they go from 0 to 100 real quick. And now they're looking at you like you're purposely trying to, you know, piss them off and upset them, and start an argument. But I don't believe that you are. I just kind of feel like this is just one of those situations, Libra, where it's like you're dealing with somebody that tends to get very irritated easily, is basically what I'm getting. But instead of them just acknowledging the fact that they are somebody who tends to get easily like irritated, it's like they're it's like they are choosing to like point the finger at you. Like, I don't have anger issues. You're just the problem. I don't get easily irritated. You're just the problem, Libra. You know what I mean? But even then, it's like, I can't really agree with them kind of labeling you as a problem, because if you were trying to provoke a reaction out of this person, um, it would show up in your energy. You see what I mean? It would show up in your energy. And the fact that it's not showing up in your energy, I can't sit here and say, like, you're purposely trying to piss this person off, Libra. Like, I can't sit there and say that. I understand to an extent, I guess, like why this person may think that. Maybe in the past, you did used to say things to purposely upset this person, and maybe that's why they feel like, you're trying to piss them off again. That's a possibility. But maybe that's what's going on here and why they think the way that they think. But I just don't see you doing that. Like, I don't see you saying all of these things to them with the intentions of, I want to piss this person off. I feel like you're saying all this with the intentions of, you know, wanting them to essentially see that the way that they're going about this whole ordeal now is the way that you always want them to go about moments of adversity that, shows up within this dynamic between the two of you. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. But I feel like this person just instantly gets pissed, just instantly gets set off, just instantly gets irritated. It's just like an instant, you know what I mean? It's like they truly do go from 0 to 100 real quick. And even you pointing out like, hey, I really do appreciate the way you're talking to me now and the way you're going about the situation now. It's like instantly pissing them off. It's like, because in their eyes, they feel like, like you're just trying to start an argument with me. You're just trying to piss me off. You're just trying to do this. You're just trying to do that. But I just don't believe that you are. And I don't have any cards to insinuate that that's the case either. You know? You know what I mean? And even let's just say hypothetically speaking, right? Let's just say hypothetically speaking, you are trying to intentionally piss this person off. Let's just say hypothetically speaking that you are. This person should be able to control their own emotions, so that way they're not allowing you to basically get the best of them. You see what I mean? Because with the Five of Wands, the Devil coming out here, that's kind of telling me that this person more than likely said certain things to you that more than likely upset you and pissed you off. But instead of you allowing this person to influence you to start operating out of character, you chose not to, give that person that type of power over you. So you see what I mean? So the fact that you're over here, you're basically complimenting them, basically is what you're doing. Like, hey, like I really did appreciate the way that you went about this entire situation this time, because that last time, like I feel like you were just being very argumentative. You were yelling at me. I didn't really appreciate that, but the way you're coming at me now, I really do like it. I really do appreciate it. Like the fact that even that in itself is setting them off. Like, you see what I mean? Like somebody who truly does have like power and control over their emotions, they don't allow people to easily irritate them or upset them or set them off. When somebody truly has like power and control over their emotions, they don't allow people, to instantly piss them off or instantly set them off. Like people who don't have, control and power over their own emotions, they easily get irritated. They easily get irritated. It just is what it is. And then once that person gets easily irritated, they're giving power to that person that is either purposely trying to upset them or possibly even not trying to essentially upset them. But in this case, I don't even feel like I don't even feel like you're trying to upset this person. You're just instantly getting upset because they instantly get irritated and upset. But it's just because they don't really have like they just really don't have that power and control, you know what I mean, over their own emotions. It's like their emotions have power over them. It's as if their emotions have control over them, not the other way around. They should have power over their own emotions. They should have control over their own emotions, like for example you do. And because they don't, you know what I mean, this is why they get easily irritated. And I think that at the end of the day, we've all kind of been there, done that, where we were, at this stage in our life where we were learning how to control our emotions and, have power over our own emotions instead of our emotions having power over us. and control over us. I think that we've all kind of been down this journey, you know what I mean, that this person's currently on. So it's not a judgmental thing. It just is what it is. I used to fucking get easily irritated my fucking self. You know what I mean? You couldn't even look at me the wrong way without me saying something. I was bad. Ugh. When I was a teenager, oh my God, like, ew. Like, it's just, I would just get easily freaking irritated off of like the dumbest things. You know what I mean? And I was just emotionally immature. You know, it is what it is, you know, and we've all, you know, have to kind of go through that stage, you know, where, you know, we have to like master our own emotions and take, you know, power and control over our own emotions. If not, it's going to take power and control over us. So it's like, it's not a judgmental thing. We've all been there. You've been there yourself. Like, there's no way that you've learned to master your own emotions without being in this person's shoes. There's just no way. You know what I mean? Because in order to master your own emotions, you know what I mean, you kind of got to go through this, you know, stage that they're basically in. So it's not a judgmental thing. It is what it is. I think that, you know, you've been in this person's shoes, you know, before I have. I'm sure many other people have. It's not a judgmental thing or anything like that. It's just something that they need to learn to essentially master, because if not, their emotions are going to forever, you know, take control over them and have power over them, and they can't allow that to essentially happen. They can't allow people to just instantly work them up, instantly piss them off. They just can't, you know what I mean? They just, not in this world. They just can't, and they shouldn't, you know what I mean? But other than that, I just unfortunately, it's just gonna lead to another big fight/argument, because then they're gonna like take it as, oh well, you're just trying to upset me, you're just trying to piss me off, and I don't feel like you're doing that with those intentions. You know, I don't think that you're saying all of this with the intentions of, I want to like piss this person off. I don't feel like you're doing all of that with those intentions, and it didn't even show up in your energy that you were doing all of that with those intentions either. You see what I mean? But like I said, when I was a teenager, you couldn't even look at me the wrong way, because I'm already, you know, opening my mouth saying something to you. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just, and it was off of small stupid things. You know what I mean? I would just get easily irritated, and that's just how this person is. They just get easily irritated. So even though, you know, like, you're not trying to upset this person, by you just saying what you're saying is just upsetting them. Just like if somebody were to kind of look at me some type of way, or if they would stare at me for a little too long, it was a freaking problem. You know what I mean? And they could have been just like, I don't know, like staring at like the lipstick, you know, that I was deciding to essentially wear that day, kind of wondering like, damn, I wonder where she got it from. But me, I'm over here like, oh, you want a problem with me, you know what I mean? And it could have been just that they were just looking at the lipstick that I was wearing and really was curious to know, like, damn, like, where did she get it from? You know what I mean? Like, but me, I was just easily irritated. It is what it is. We've all been there, done that. It's not a judgmental thing. But I think that, you know, once this person's able to like, you know, realize, you know, I do allow stupid things to get the best of me, and I really need to work on that and stuff like that, and they start working on that, like, I promise you, there's nothing that you can say and or do that's gonna piss this person off. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And instead of you guys fighting, arguing, a moment of adversity does show up, you guys are gonna just talk about it. You know what I mean? You guys are gonna just talk about it, because the thing, you know, is that I think that, you know, that fighting and arguing is not going to like improve anything or make anything better. It makes things worse. You know what I mean? And I think that they will eventually reach this point of realizing, you know what, I'm not gonna like get all worked up and upset and start yelling and doing all these things, because it's just not going to make the situation better. It's just going to make it worse. And then from that point on, once they realize that that's something they need to work on, y'all are not going to argue about anything. Y'all are just going to talk it out. And I think that that's kind of what you're aiming for, is to be able to talk it out instead of fighting and bickering back and forth, you know? So yeah, that's what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated. And I will see you guys in my next reading. Bye.